Like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, Sybil and Ollie, Sybil and Ollie show. Wasn't that something like that?
Yeah. The little sock puppet show.
That was a really fun show
MTV.
on MTV. Yeah, and I don't think people generally liked it.
I
Because
didn't like it.
It was a little uneven. Yeah.
Every time I was over, you watched it, which was I didn't care because I was at your house, but not for one thing. I didn't come over to watch TV with you. We hung out for so long that you're free to go on with your daily life.
Go ahead, break it down real low.
I'm real sorry about this.
Oh my god!
I really have an ad blocker and I don't know why it's not on right now.
Well, it's just cut for time.
Sybil and Ollie show. Everybody. Sybil and Ollie show. And that's about how it goes. All right. I'm glad we did that instead of an intro. Hello, everyone. Adam.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's all. I think that's all I like. Is that count.
James said Adam show.
Other one is oh man, I drank so much water. Check this out.
We didn't talk at all about the revolution.
We did not talk about Prince or the revolution, and I felt bad about that. So we've just decided this one we're gonna be freewheeling. We're gonna cover some old bases and we're gonna cover some new bases. We have no topic. Guys, again, this is a CTA, if you know what that stands for. It stands for
Called arms?
Come Tribute Adventures.
Come cover chunkies.
That's not funny. I'm sorry. It's not funny.
Yeah, it is.
Are you guys laughing?
I don't know what you said. I was talking what I said.
CTA, everybody.
Anyway.
Today we were kind of dry on topics. Like, we're having a great time talking, but we were kind of like, we put a lot of parameters on stuff, and now we're like, oh, I'm kind of like, I don't want to talk about that just yet, and stuff like that. So give us a topic. Put that in the comments.
Crowns and tiaras in the aristocracy? What is CTA?
Ryan, say you want to talk about chili dogs. This is you. It's your time. It's a call to action. It's a call to action. And like in marketing, you're like, put the CTA down. Or if you do, maybe if you do like an inquiry, like a job inquiry letter, you have a call to action at the end. Make sure and text me at this number or follow up. It's telling, I give you a command, which is the point of what I'm sending you. I've explained myself. Here's what emails
ever have is the listen bitch in the form of as previously discussed, or as you will find in my previous email.
Ooh, yeah. That's your fault that you didn't know that, Mister.
Right.
Mister.
Yeah. Listen, bitch.
So the revolution is imminent. Yeah. No. We did a whole episode about dancing for no reason because I was just writing topics.
Maybe. What was it, like 30-minute episode or so, and a good solid 15 was dance.
Yeah, and I neglected to mention Dance Revolution, which is like one of the central aspects of my existence.
A canon of our childhood. And arcades, which existed. You had to go somewhere to throw money into a machine to be entertained for a minute.
It was expensive. So yeah, we have friend Ty, Code Guy Ty. I don't know if we should say his last name, but Missoula guy, and he was really E3. He was our awkward friend. He's very self-aware and likes to call himself awkward. That's not me being pejorative. And he was he played a lot of video games, like so much video games. There was no time.
Family did.
Yeah,
I wish my family could unify over something so solidly. Everyone had like the best. Every member of the family, the youngest daughter, his younger brother, him, his dad, his mom, they all had their own like gaming stations in the house. The house did not have like a living room couch. It had corners that had these very expensive, very cutting edge gaming computers before Alienware was a thing.
Yeah.
And that's how they familyed. That was their core. Amazing.
And Ty had all the consoles downstairs, and it was kind of like utopian. It was like, oh my God, like you have everything. You got your Donkey Kong conga drums. You got
that shit only released in Japan.
And so when we were hanging out with him, he was like a big guy because look,
He was
when
a
you're
large, he was a big
when
boy.
you're gaming 24/7, you don't have time for bullshit like hygiene and exercise and sleep and
But your whole
cleanliness.
family games,
And I can appreciate
they
that.
don't have time for nutrition.
Oh, and what I was gonna say too, Ty, feel free to be on our show, please.
Oh, God.
Get on here with us. This would be fun. I'm sure you. Actually, I have no interesting things to say. So that's Ty on our show, and we're done. No, but so he was a big guy, and then he started working at the arcade because Dance Dance Revolution came out, and then he was a very trim guy.
He lost enough weight that in high school he came in after a summer. It was like, damn, Ty, you probably lost like 40 pounds. He's like, yeah, my mom had to buy me all new clothes because the other ones were way too big.
And my cousin, my bro, my amigo, his theory is that if you're familiar with Ender's Game is like they have a movie now with Harrison Ford, but it's like they take super genetically advanced, like genetically augmented children up into a space station to train them for combat. Why it has to be children, I guess, just because the genetic augmentation technology came out recently.
Like
So they have these super gifted kids.
Spartan theory.
Yeah, they're just little
like
kids.
Spartan methodology. Just like start
train
becoming
them
a warrior
birth.
as soon as you can walk.
And I'm sure there's some allusion to like classical stories of that nature, but Ender's Game. So the training consists of this weird game where there's no sense of gravity because you're in space, and they kind of play laser tag. That like freezes you. It's a whole thing, but my cousin's theory is that DDR was invented by the government as a way to train youths to operate weapon systems with their feet. And I'm pretty down with that theory, because I didn't play DDR. I was too intimidated by the cost and the image of it. So I did not play DDR in the arcade a single time when it was fresh and hot in 2000.
At the time,
whatever it was.
The arcade biz was now being overrun or run out of town by Sega was around, Nintendo was around, but the PlayStation came out. And so now the games that you had to go to the arcade to play, you can just play at home. I mean, Atari, Nintendo, all those games existed, but it wasn't super covered in arcade. Arcades had games that you couldn't get on those systems. And so
yeah, the technology was better because you made the tech for the game. You had
right. And so this is during when I was a little kid, and I'd say younger than 10, you'd go to the arcade and everything was a quarter. That was just how it was. And those
or like the big machines might be 50 cents or
maybe
something. That was later.
Yeah, and then DDR came out and it was $1 minimum.
$1.25, $2 sometimes.
I don't know anything about the industry. Ty can double check me on this, but it might have been one of the first video games that had like the bill acceptor on it. Like,
right?
We're past coins.
Yeah, I don't know how that fits in, but yeah, it's probably something like that. Yeah, one of the more common cabinets that actually had a dollar acceptor. I'd buy that. Like,
yeah. So to Adam's point, this is for all the money that we stole for the day. This is a larger investment that I'm ready to make.
And so here's my thing. Like I've played. So I think you don't know this. So when I lived on at the Flop House, it was a little artistic community on Barber Boulevard in Southwest Portland. One of my roommates brought in had a female companion who brought in a little plastic dance mat in a PlayStation 2, and we played DDR-X. And on this home console, and we had so much fun. I mean, I didn't know the first thing. You know, you like stand in the middle, and it's like left, left, right, up, and that was hard to do
in rhythm.
Yeah. And I did it for hours and hours, and then it was like, okay, I'm the bottom stage now. I can move up a stage, and I can kind of hang with it, and I get like a B. And I've been doing this now. Sometimes an hour a day. These days, not as much, but for years I was doing this like every single day, and still I'm not that good. I have like $350 dance pad, and I bought like 5 of them because I wear them out. They're not like the metal cabinets at the. Those are more expensive, and that you use your shoes with them, so it's a whole different feel. So when I played at the arcade, I'm still not great. And there's memes, there's tricks to it. Like at a certain stage, you're going to learn a certain trick. So my trick right now is I am addicted to facing forward so I can see the screen. But if I want to advance, I have to follow the steps left, right, left, where with alternating feet, so that my body will naturally spin. And then I have to turn my head to see the display. So that adds a new difficulty, but a new coordination. That when I see people who are slightly better than me playing, that's the difference. And wherever you're at, there's the stage before you and the stage after you. So I freaking love this game because it is 100% accurate controller. Your foot will either hit the arrow down when the note plays exactly, or it will not. That is how the game works. And
it's all about accuracy and timing.
I've played motion capture. What is it called?
Mocap.
Mocap, Just Dance and things like that. And
like
I don't feel the same way. Like that's fun to do and I have a good time and it's a good exercise and you learn how to dance. It's cool in a lot of ways. But what I'm in love with is specifically that this is an extremely accurate controller. And you can play this. You can play this game for years and years and years and still be at like a 6 out of 10 level. And there's people who do it professionally and they release songs that are designed to be humanly impossible to beat. And then these little bastards beat it anyway. But see, I'm not interested in getting Olympic level at it. It's just a really great exercise. And every kind of exercise you do, you eventually kind of it gets old because you're just doing the same thing. You're riding your bike, you're jogging, you're weightlifting. And if there's nothing kind of intrinsically progressive about that activity, or you're not doing something else in your mind, you'll get bored with it. It'll just be like a little hobby that you have for a minute and it won't be like a lifestyle habit. But for some reason, DDR works for me. Like it's like a perfect exercise and it's cardio. It's like a lot of legs. I got long legs. So I get like to whatever extent I'm working my quads and my glutes. That's very optimal and efficient. A lot of guys work on like their arms and stuff. Well, there's just not as much meat there. So if you're wanting to just generally be toned and conditioned rather than like ripped,
it's cardio.
Yeah, it's cardio with a little muscle because like constantly jumping and stuff it uses a lot of muscle, but it's mostly cardio. Yeah, it's mostly cardio. So I mean, I would be drenched in sweat by the end of a typical session.
The first time I saw in real life a situation where people became instant barbarians, and by that I mean like, just everyone lost their mind. Ty was on the DDR machine, and he took the job at the arcade so he could get paid and play for free. That was
right. That's where you're going. Yep. Yeah. So he got that job that he could play the game for free and get paid.
Yeah, he gets paid during the day.
I said the exact same thing you just said, but it bears repeating.
No one's on the machine. It's his. So he practiced to the point.
Oh, and waiting sucked. Yeah, you had to wait your turn.
Yeah. There's lines. So I was standing there. We had just popped in to say what's up and see if he'd give us some free gameplay. He did not. And he was when we walked in, he's on shift and on the DDR machine because all of the little like fan base for the DDR machine had urged him to get on during shift. And I can't see how that's a problem. If I ran that arcade and this kid that I employ is on one of the machines drawing a crowd, I want you to be on that machine like once an hour.
Exactly.
So he's on it. He's doing the thing, and it's a left, right, up,
get that
down
guy in a costume.
Combo. So you're like rocking back and forth, and then rocking back and forth, and rocking back and forth on 16th notes. And he did it where he walked in a circle and was not watching the screen, which at this point was still really advanced.
I think I actually know what song that is.
It really advanced for our little town, but he ended not facing the machine, and then the rhythm changed from this like to something else, and he nailed it 100%.
Like an actual
and the crowd,
tempo change,
yeah, the crowd exploded, and that was that sticks out in my mind pretty hard.
That's where I check out, and I don't like when DDR surprises you. That's really showy, but I'm not performing, so it's annoying to me when they change the tempo or they do stops where they'll freeze it or whatever. But it's a different style. I never really played at the arcade, so I didn't. A lot of my friends that I play with, it's a really fun party activity. And when I play with my friends, they're more into like the dancey thing. I'm about efficiency. I'm doing exactly what the controller is supposed to do with. But I don't take it to the level where you're like leaning on a bar and basically tap dancing. That's not the same thing to me. I don't like that. Just my own preference. All different styles.
That bar was a part of a lot of people's routines. I took off the wrong pipe, but
well, there's no way to go as fast without leaning your
grab the bar and like donkey kicking off beat.
Yeah, you're not even using your feet to support.
Need to be there.
Yeah, their feet are basically floating above and tapping the buttons. It's like you might as well just be playing it on your phone with your fingers at that point. In my opinion, that is how you get the best score. That's how you win.
Yeah, that is how you win. What I'm talking about is the people who incorporated the bar into the showmanship
and
of
they
the game.
Flip over it and they do tricks with it. Yeah,
flip over, dive under to hit
use the whole cabinet,
left, right. Yeah, like that is performing.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm like into that. I just don't
anymore.
do it. Yeah. I have a couple moves that I do, but it's not front and center on my routine. But yeah, I love to play with people. I'm always trying to encourage people to play with me just to keep it going. It's really fun. They have this whole thing where you can hook up like Step Mania and just do it on your PC, and then you have access to like every song anyone's ever charted out. And I did that for a minute, but I had like hardware issues just due to my like computer setup and everything. So I'm stuck with the PlayStation 2 and like the 11 releases on that system. And that's plenty. It's a good amount. I mean, they have a lot of good songs. So
I still have my PlayStation 2. I tried to play some of the games on it, and it's rough. But
bro, what games you got? Maybe we can do an exchange.
Like a bunch. A bunch is relative. I have like maybe 20 games, 30 maybe. But the one I do play.
Do you have any Metal Gears?
No. I have games that no one else wanted to play. I have games like Nothing But Trouble Was a Movie.
Do you have Choo Choo Rocket?
No.
Choo Choo Rocket. Choo Choo Rocket. The rocket Tatsu going. I don't know Japanese, but that sounded right to me.
I had another bar in the other house, and at the end, I had like a bar, like those nudie picture things where it's like something's different, not the same. And you at the end of a bar, I tried to simulate that. Oh yeah, they're always. Why would you not do the nudie one?
Because it's in a highlights magazine for children, generally.
Yeah,
all right, what are you talking about? You're talking about pornographic images where it's a compare the images, like one of her nipples is missing? What the hell are you talking about?
They would never do something
James,
to a model
what
like
the
that.
hell are you talking about?
Exactly what you just said.
Oh,
you nailed it.
Is it on the internet?
Oh, I'm sure it has
James,
to be.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So you got hooked on the wrong part of the story. When you go to a shitty bar in like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, they have that little like machine at the end of the bar that has like some poker games and stupid shit on it.
Okay, like the newfangled Nickelodeon. All right.
What? It's not gambling. They're just
my knowledge of bars is from about 1850 onward, so I'm just.
That's pretty.
No, I know it's a little gambly. You throw your money in there, and it like asks you.
You don't get any money back. It's like an adult arcade game, and so on it is the. I'm getting too far into this, but
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I get it now.
The exact same thing that happens in a highlights magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dinosaur, and he's missing a toe, and the sun is like in a different spot. That exact thing, but out of like Hustler magazine.
And you would be really good at that. That's a test of your spatial cognitive.
They do have a version that's not profane, that's not pornog. And I challenge people. You do one round, I do it. But if I'm challenging, I'm going to give myself every benefit by putting the chick with big old titties on there, because then they are wasting their time enjoying this nudie pick and not choosing the things.
They're not seeing the forest for the trees. Address the audience Address the audience for 20 seconds. I'm going to be right back, and we're not stopping.
I don't know what to say. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? The little thing at the end of the bar. You can play the little thing. There's no some bars have gambling associated with it, but the shitty bars I went to did not. It's a little device. It's like a tabletop game thing. They have to still exist. I don't go to bars a lot anymore unless it's like an event thing to go to. And that's the second time I got cramps. Damn it. That's the third time I got cramps.
How did it go? Was that good?
We got deep. Anyway,
I messed up. I meant to bring an awesome Escape from the Planet of Terror children's activity book. We'll get to. I'll bring it up a different time. But it had that notice the different thing activity in it. Sorry.
So that thing that we just talked about for the last 3 minutes, nothing to do with what I'm talking about, other than at the bar, at the end of the bar, there was a stool with a little entertainment thing. If you're like there alone and can't talk to the bartender, which at that point you probably should off yourself.
Yeah, I don't see people on those for that reason. It's a very lonely. It's like you don't want to be the person at the bar that's playing the weird little goofy.
I've been at the bar where someone came in. What was her name? Miss Tammy or something. Big lady. That's not her name, but something like that. And she'd come in like, and the whole bar, hey, Miss Tammy, and she would camp on that thing. And that was just kind of her thing. She talked to people, but that was her thing.
Okay,
anyway,
so that's cool.
At my last house, I had a similar bar. At the end, I had a stool, but what I had on the end was Aerosmith Guitar Hero.
Fun, yeah. I hate Aerosmith for some weird reason, but yeah.
Well, that's just you may or may not remember, I don't usually buy things for myself, and what I end up with is what I have. I still have the same guitar from when I was 11 years old, and I bought another one because it works.
We were going to play a song for you guys, but there was a problem with the audio syncing. Whenever I would accompany him, it would cut out his audio, and then we couldn't hear each other. But someday.
We'll check it in post.
We love jamming, and it would be fun.
This is a very long, drawn-out thing because you got hooked on the wrong thing. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm the dickhead.
Yeah.
Everybody. I ruined your whole thing just because I exist and I have my own. But continue, please.
No, that was it. This has been Adam and James. Got on to the minute. Bye, guys.
I want to talk about more stuff.